Hello, I'm Faye.
And I'm Becki. In this podcast, we're going to be talking about maximising your potential as a leader and living your best life personally and professionally.
So join us on the M53 for our weekly chats, full of insights and inspiration, and of course, a cuppa and a butty.
Faye, it's called a brew.
Hello and welcome to what is the first Christmas podcast. And Becki and I are so excited that we've actually got a Christmas edition for the show.
It's the most wonderful time. Oh, shut up. Yeah, I said to Faye, I can't guarantee that I won't burst into song throughout this. I love Christmas.
You can tell we've been on the eggnog already, can't you?
I wish. Actually, no, not eggnog. I have to say I've always given eggnog a wide berth. But yeah.
I have too, but anything else really is it's more than lovely. Thank you. So we thought what we would do, because we like to release our podcast every week. So this one is coming out just between Christmas and New Year. So we thought we would talk about our Christmases and how we use our Christmas time and what we think of our Christmas time. And what we do between Christmas and New Year, really. So why not? Absolutely. Because actually, for me, it's quite an important time. We're recording this podcast. It's just started December, and I'm already winding down. In my head, I'm already winding down toward Christmas, and I've looked at the diary to work out how many weeks are left of term, because my son's at school, so I work in term time still. How many weeks are left of term? And then I'm taking the whole of the Christmas holiday, the school Christmas holiday, off. What about you, Becki? Are you taking the whole of the Christmas holiday off?
I won't be taking all of it off now. So my youngest mini person still goes to nursery, so they're not open throughout Christmas, but they are open for more than school is open. Ooh. So he will be mostly in preschool when it is open. And my daughter, I think she will do a couple of days in holiday club, partly because, do you know what, she loves it. She absolutely loves going and spending extra time with her friends, and they do loads of different sports and stuff. But also because, do you know, I find it really difficult to totally switch off. And so this will only be my second year of being self-employed at Christmas. Only a couple of weeks ago, I came to this realization. It must have been, I don't know, maybe best part of a year ago now, that I remember having a conversation with a coach, and I'd said to her then, I feel like I'm constantly on like 70%, but like all the time. So I never felt like I was being fully productive, but I also never felt like I was stopping. And she talked to me about this idea of being on and off. And so that when you are fully on, you're really going for it. And when you are off, not only are you off and away from your desk, but your head's switched off. And so for about the last year, I've been really, really trying so hard to get this idea of on and off, and to really make the most of that off time. But do you know what I found? And I realised through my own coaching only a fortnight ago, off is just not achievable for me. And I actually get really miserable in the off space. And because what happens is, when I slow down, as we know, when we slow down, that's when the most creative things can come out. And so I would be slowing down and these ideas would pop into my head, and I'd be then getting really stressed thinking, but I can't spend time thinking about that now, because I've got to, I'm off. I'm supposed to be off. And I'm doing, X, Y, Z with the kids. And so I just kind of bat it away and then lose it. The idea floats off and someone else grabs it. And so I've realized that actually I'm no longer striving to be off. And this year I want to work in that space of, yes, I'm definitely going to have more downtime, but that I still allow myself that time where I can still be on, so that those ideas that have come to me in that quiet time, I can just spend, even if it's an hour here and there, bringing those to life and thinking about those a bit more, keeping on top of social media, maybe having a bit of time writing a blog post. So as much as I won't be coaching over Christmas, I also won't be having a full 2 weeks off either.
Yeah, I get that. I can't remember the last time that I was off. My brain doesn't seem to do that with regard to my business at all. Even when I am trying to do other things, I'm always thinking about my business. And I know it's not necessarily healthy, but honestly, it's the way I am. My mum had her own business, and I remember us going, oh gosh, she's talking about the business again. As kids, me and my sister and my dad as well, we'd sit there and talking about the business again. But being a business owner myself now, I totally get it. I understand it. But for me, for Christmas particularly, I've never worked Christmas Day. I have worked a Christmas Eve, and I always think in my head it's Boxing Day, but it wasn't. It was the day after Boxing Day. And I did that when I worked in retail. And I turned up for work still terribly, terribly, terribly drunk from the night before. It was one of the longest days because we weren't allowed to sit down in the store. We had to stand up, and it was one of the longest days of my life. But then when I was working in an office, I worked on a Christmas Eve, and we were allowed to go, I think, a little bit early, but it felt like a really long day because nobody was ringing in or what have you. So I always then took the opportunity to take Christmas off, and I think it became common practice then for us to have the time between Christmas and New Year off as well. Those were days that we had to save out of our annual leave. So even before I had my little boy, I was taking that time off, and I like to, and I always feel like it's an end and a new beginning. I end the year, I begin the year again. At year end and year beginning, but it always is that in my head, it's very, very defined. So now that my little boy's at school, I do work to his term times, and I've got that time out in my diary, so nobody can book in to my diary because it's all blocked out. But like you say, Becki, it's the time where I get really creative and I start to get all these wonderful new ideas, and that does not stop. In fact, I want that to happen. I want to feel creative. I want to feel inspired, so that I'm coming back in January feeling really inspired to do some different things, some new things, whatever. And so I spend my time, I try and turn my laptop off if I can. Last year, spent a lot of time taking my website from Squarespace to WordPress. So there's a lot of time spent there, but I enjoyed it. I like fiddling around with my website and breaking it and then trying to fix it. I can't remind me of that next time I break it, please, Becki, that I said I enjoyed it.
I will remind you that you enjoy breaking it.
Thank you. It just happens. But I spend that time doing the things as well that I don't get time to do normally in my business. So that having that chunk of time to devote last year to my website was really great. But I'll read, I'll learn something new. I do all those things as well. I get ideas from those things. So it's taking me out of my usual sort of business environment, if you like, but I'm still thinking about my business, and I'm still thinking about how I can grow and develop and do some more lovely things. So that's what I do.
It's funny, actually, because you've got me thinking about back when I was an employee and working for someone else. And yeah, I used to take a lot of time off over Christmas. So it's quite normal in construction for everything to shut down over the Christmas period. So like you said, we had a certain number of days of our annual leave that we had to take during that Christmas and New Year period. And I think probably in the 15 years that I did it, I probably only worked maybe 2 Christmas Eves. The company used to very kindly give us an extra half day. They would never tell us until sort of, early to mid-November that you'll be getting an extra half day off on Christmas Eve, but you kind of expected it. And we did. So, I think I probably only ever worked maybe two Christmas Eves because I do love Christmas. I'm still a totally giddy kipper when it comes to Christmas. And so it was quite normal for me to take 2, maybe even 3 weeks leave over the Christmas period. And then I found it so much easier to shut off. You know, my laptop was off. I didn't put my emails onto my personal phone. I was not interested. Frankly, you know, I was just not interested. It was off. But yeah, definitely a bit of a different story when, you know, now that I'm a business owner. But that being said, there will obviously be a number of days where I can enjoy it with my mini people and with my family, because, you know, my kids this year, they're 6 and 3. So the spirit of Christmas is just so strong with them, and it's all such a magical time. And I just love being able to drink that in and see Christmas through their eyes. So I'm very, very looking forward to that already. We have the elf on the shelf in our house. So Buddy arrived back a couple of days ago now, already creating mischief. And he will continue to do so, I have no doubt, until Christmas. So yes, we're already getting into the swing of things here.
Do you know, I've never done Elf on the Shelf. So that kind of became popular, I think, when my son I'm sure he'd started primary school when that sort of came into my awareness. And I just never bought one. And I always thought when I saw people posting about them on Facebook and stuff, I thought, oh, that looks fantastic, I'm going to get one. And I never did. But he never expected one either. And I'm kind of grateful in a way, because I've never had to think of the pranks that he would have to do.
Well, he does them all by himself, Faye. There's you don't have to think about them. You just have to wake up in the morning and see what he's done.
What he has done.
Yes, yes, he is quite the little monkey.
He's a little monkey. He has with a very cheeky little face. Yeah, absolutely. But I was filling the advent calendar the other night. So my son knows that I fill the advent calendar every year because it's the same advent calendar. And it's one of my favourite times. You know, a chocolate for the advent calendar, a chocolate for me. Another one for the advent calendar. Another one for me.
I love it.
Yeah, I made sure that I got my favourites. Luckily, my son likes the toffees and things, and I like the strawberry creams and the orange creams. So, yeah, so we have quite separate favourites. So we all get what we like, which is great.
Winner. Oh, I had a refillable advent calendar when I was a kid. You've reminded me of that now. A big wooden one. It was a big wooden one, and it had a decoration inside as well. My mum would add a chocolate in, but it also had this little decoration that made a scene on the top of the advent calendar, and you hung all the decorations on there. I wonder what she's done with it now.
She's still got it, I bet.
I bet one of my sisters has got it.
So what are your Christmas traditions, Becki?
Oh, do you know, Faye? Oh, I'm not sure we have very many. We do, whilst we don't put it in an actual special Christmas Eve box, we do have a bit of a Christmas Eve box where we all get some new pajamas. Yes. Of course. I always leave it too late to be buying the matching family ones. Every year I think of it like mid-November and I'm like, I must get us some matching pajamas this year. And by then they have all gone. So we all get mismatched Christmas pajamas. And we normally have some like hot chocolates, cones in there and marshmallows and things. And we sit and we do watch a film together. Quite often we watch The Snowman before the kids go to bed. And they take their stockings up, they hang them on the bedroom door. We do have a fireplace, but they hang them on their bedroom door for Santa so that then he knows whose bedroom is who.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And obviously then we leave out the mince pie and the carrot and Santa, we like to give him a whiskey when he comes to our house. And that's about us. We don't really have a huge amount of Christmas traditions, Faye. Do you?
I'm not sure that we do, but although we kind of do similar stuff each year. So on Christmas Eve, I've done the Christmas Eve box, but also for the last few years, as my son's been a bit older, because he's 11, so as he's been a bit older, we've met friends in our town in the pub, because then we've got a lovely big town Christmas tree, and the Salvation Army come and they gather everybody around and for carols and things. That
sounds
is lovely.
lovely.
That is it's beautiful. And I mean, we will miss that, to stay in the pub in the warm in the we can see and hear it. But then when he was younger as well, we did always used to go to the local church. I'm not a church goer myself, but they did a and still do a crib service on Christmas Eve, where the kids all dress up. And if you haven't got your own dressing up outfit, they've got loads there that you can dress up. So they want Marys, they want angels, they want stars, they want shepherds, they want sheep, they want kings, and they go, and so all the children go up, because they're talking about the nativity story, and all the children go up when their character is involved, and that's just absolutely gorgeous. And I
that
do
sounds
love
so
singing.
cute.
I love singing Christmas carols.
I love a good carol.
Love a good carol.
I do love a good. I'll be honest, Faye. I mean, it's off Christmas topic, but I love a good hymn in general. I'm quite partial to singing along to a hymn, but Christmas carols, yes, I love singing Christmas carols. Do you know what? That's inspired me. Actually, I'm going to find a local carol service and go caroling. Either that, or I will be knocking at my neighbours' doors. They will not thank me for that. I used to do that
with my best friend. We used to go and knock at the doors around where we lived, singing Christmas carols and getting a few pennies for sweets. It didn't. Oh gosh, to be honest, now it didn't go to charity. It went for sweets. Oh dear.
You've just revealed something there, haven't you?
Revealed something there, absolutely. Never mind. I was that age, but we used to have great fun doing that. So then we come home. My son's in bed in time for Father Christmas, and getting up on Christmas morning and seeing that magic, it's absolutely, it's just fantastic, isn't it? We do, as you do, mince pie, a glass of sherry, and for Father Christmas, and a carrot for Rudolph. And then Christmas Day, we will spend it with my family if we can. We couldn't last year, but we all get together. So there's us, my parents, my sister and her husband and his mum, and we all get together, which is lovely because the kids just love that. They're playing, and we eat, we drink, and we are merry.
We vary who we spend our Christmas Day with. This year we're just going to have it just the four of us, which I think will actually be really nice. We're looking forward to a bit of time just us. We often end up bailing out mid-morning and going to the local park to burn off some energy, because otherwise the kids are just so completely overwhelmed with all the excitement of it all that they're literally climbing the walls. So we're often that lone family that the dog walkers see playing in the park on Christmas Day, come rain or shine or snow. Chances are we will be down at the park at some point in Christmas Day, because I think we will need it more than the kids will.
I tell you what is a tradition in our family, and this happened a long time before children came along. We always go to the Panto on Boxing Day afternoon.
Oh, fab.
Yeah, and when did we start doing that? It wasn't something I remember going to the pantomime when I was a little girl, but it wasn't something we did every Boxing Day. So it was certainly something that we did as I became an adult, but I can't remember. I couldn't tell you how many years, but it has been years. I have seen every panto going. Yeah, and we did. Obviously, we couldn't go last year. There were, it wasn't open, but our tickets were rolled over for this year, so that's in the diary. Much to my husband's upset, he rolls his eyes and says, "Oh, we're doing that again." But it's nice. But it's nice because you're in a different environment. You're still in all that lovely Christmas cheer. Everyone's still wearing their Christmas jumpers, and you've got that great humour from the panto stage. It's always good fun.
Oh, that sounds
fab. Do that. Yeah. So we would like to wish you all a very, very happy Christmas, and hope let's hope that this next year is, a bit better than the last two, but we certainly wish you a very happy Christmas. And thank you for listening to our podcast. We're a number of episodes in now, and we are very grateful for everybody who's listened, who's left a review, who has told us that they're enjoying what they're listening to. And long may it continue.
Yes, thank you so much. Honestly, we are both absolutely thrilled at the fact that we are even recording a Christmas podcast. It seems a bit crazy. So yes, thank you so much for your support. As we've said, I think this podcast is coming out just after Christmas. So I hope that however you spent it with people that you love, and you had a really, really lovely time.
I do. Thank you. Thank you for listening to Meet Me on the M53. If you'd like to know more, you can see Becki at questforest.co.uk and Faye at fayeblakey.com.
Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss an episode, and thank you to Wahoo Media for our production. We'll see you next time on the M53.
Safe travels.